Cool. So this overworld encounter here, world map section here is the first area you'll need to use stutter stepping. I like to do it backwards, but I'll turn it around anyway, just so we can see where we're going. If you're really quick, you can get through the forest before you're able to get any ragtimers, but we'll just go around it anyway, just to be safe. So ragtimers are something that can happen even with stutter stepping. They're still pretty rare. They can't happen for the first 10 seconds while you're on the overworld. You have to be on the overworld for more than 10 seconds, I believe, before they can start hitting you. So if you can get through any forest that you're going to get through within 10 seconds, you don't run the risk of running into any. They are incredibly slow encounters. If you do happen to run into one, use a basic attack on the monster in the middle to get out as quickly as possible. If you answer the question incorrectly, you lose a shitload of money. If you answer it correctly, you have to do all the results screens bullshit, and you're probably not going to be gaining AP on things that you need. So don't. Just hit the monster in the middle if you are unlucky enough to get a ragtimer or something. Cool, bit of mashing here. So once we gain control of Zidane in a moment, we are going to head towards the farm in the top right of the village. If you keep like a wide angle around the well, you can guarantee that you're avoiding the little Dali children. They can get quite annoying. They will stop you in your tracks, so try to avoid them. Careful not to mash when you come through here or you'll pet the cat. And they are being pretty generous with us today. Once you've been to the farm, you need to go into the potion shop twice. We're going to go in once. Come out. Go back in. Then come back out. This is to advance story triggers. And put characters in the places that we need them to be in. Then we're going to talk to Vivi. And he is going to put us outside of the weapon shop. So in the weapon shop, we need to keep track of the things that a couple of things that we've done so far in order to maximize the way that we're going to handle this menu. Before they do that, we've got to talk to Dagger. There is a small time save here based on which dialogue options you pick. So the first one, you want to pick option 1, and the second one, you want to pick option 2. So they're going to look around for a little bit, and then she's going to be startled. And then Zidane has a text box, which I can't remember what it says, but I recognize it. So she's like, it's nothing. He's like, you're acting strange. What? I get it. Option 1. Thanks. She has this slow dialogue box. Confirm into option 2. Option 1 is actually considerably slower, so try to avoid it where you can. And then once she leaves, you're going to want to talk to the shopkeeper. Be careful, she tries to play cards with you. Don't play cards with her, so don't talk to her with square, talk to her with X. And now, based on what you have stolen and such during your travels, this menu is going to change. You're always going to want to do the same like sequence of buttons though, roughly, which makes it nice and easy to remember. Start by R1ing down to leather wrist. If you've got one, don't buy it, obviously, but if you haven't, buy one. Then you're going to go to wrists. If you've got nobles, you press up on it and then go down to the amount that you need. This is where it becomes variable though. So on the right, you'll see that we have one in the stock and one in the equip. If you have stolen one from Baku, the one in stock will be a 1. If you haven't stolen one from Baku, it will be a 0. So try and remember whether or not you stole one from Masked Man at the very beginning of the game. Maybe make a note or something like that. It can be really, really hard to remember, but it is something that you want to try and remember. So because we stole one and we didn't get nobles, we only want the 1. Because we're only going to make 3 cotton robes. So cumulatively, we have 3 wrists. We're going to make 3 cotton robes with 3 wrists. If you got nobles, you want 9 of these. So you'd go up to 11 and then down to 8 if you didn't steal one, and 7 if you did. Meaning that you'll have a total of 9 wrists, one way or the other. Once you've done your wrists, R1, down 1, and you want to buy 3 of these. This is always 3. And then if you didn't steal the broadsword, like we did, you're going to need to buy an iron sword. L1 will take you straight to it. Buy one of them. Cool. Queen Bronze, come Lord. Nice. So now we are going to go ahead back to where Vivi was standing by that little pipe in the ground. It is going to allow us to progress the story. When this conversation finishes, be careful. I like to manually, really carefully clear the next text box on its own with one button press or so, because instantly we'll try to ask you if you want to like examine the post again, and we very affectionately call that the Vivi Vortex. Don't get caught in it. So we're gonna head down through the underground here into more story triggers. Smash through all this. And you want to hold upright in the first screen. Then up in the next screen. The next one's a bit of a wiggly. Go around all this. Finally into the next menu. So, in this menu changes a little bit based on, again, what you've stolen and equipped. So you always put a feather hat on a dagger. You R1 over to Zan. If you stole and equipped the leather wrist earlier, you don't need to equip the leather wrist, obviously, because it will be on. If you didn't, then you will manually equip it here, and you will also manually equip the leather shirt. Then you scroll over to Vivi and give him the silk shirt. If you stole a mithril dagger, this is when you'd put it on. But we didn't. I think I've only stolen one in like the past 4 months. You don't get it very often. Don't really count on it. As you proceed through this screen, you'll notice... Let me save status so I don't mess it up. There's like a little bit of light on the ground here. Right there. That is a trigger. So if you notice that I run over it, Zidane does a slide. But if I walk into it, he stops dead. It's fun to try and see how close you can get him. Obviously, the less time you walk for, the faster you can do it. But walking there skips the little sliding animation that you'll do. Okay, so if like us, you didn't steal the broadsword and you need it still equipped Steiner, this is when you do it. So you'll go into his equipment, optimize, square, equip, bird killer, bug killer, and back out. So during this section of the game, you want to talk to Morid in his house down here. However, if you go in there, he will not turn up for ages. The way that you make sure that he comes in immediately after you is you go in when he gets past this step here. So because you've got quite a lot of time, you can afford to go and pick up some money over here and a potion down here. On HD, he is actually a lot faster. Once you've got both of these, he will already be past that. So what I was doing personally was skipping, I believe, this one. Just going straight for it. I don't know. It's up to you, but on PSX, he's a lot slower. So we're going to go ahead and grab money. Yeah, the money. Not much, but it's something to do. And a high potion. And then when he gets past that step, you go in. Morid plays cards. Be careful. Don't play cards with Morid. He's gagging for him. After the dialogue, you're just gonna head out and then head south out of the tower. Alrighty. So after this bit, when Steiner comes back onto the next scene, there's a few text boxes. And it's like 3. Yeah, so did I just see his barrel move? And then there's a choice here. You want to pick option 2. It's actually quite a lot faster than option 1. Stabbing the barrel is slow, like really slow. So I'm going to do a save state here because Black Waltz 2 is quite a complicated fight. So I'll do one slowly and I'll try and explain everything. And then I'll do one in real time afterwards so that I don't lose too much time. We are actually still against the clock. So we need Zidane to go first. So I'm always going to wait for Zidane to come back round. And I'm going to queue him. So Zidane is the only person that can ATV weight Black Waltz 2. Zidane is able to critical. Be careful of this. Black Waltz 2's unique... Well, there are a few bosses that share this mechanic. But the one thing that separates Black Waltz 2 from a bunch of other bosses is he has a bit of a revenge mechanic when he goes below 50%. He will immediately interrupt the fight and cast Fire All on your party, dealing up to 110 damage per party member. It will always kill Vivi because he's wearing the silk shirt, no matter what level he is. I think he needs to be like level 8 to survive or something stupid. And he has a really good chance of killing the rest of your party members. The way that we manage this is that we want to ATB weight Zidane on the first turn. So it's going to be Zidane, Steiner, Zidane. You can also attack with Vivi and Dagger if both Zidane and Steiner have at least 110 HP. I'll get into that in a moment, but because he's attacked Vivi for us, and both Zidane and Steiner are above 110, we can comfortably attack with everyone while we're waiting for Zidane's ATB to come back round. So I'm going to squeak him through. He's going to attack. Then I'm going to send Steiner in, and then Vivi, and then Dagger. And the reason I'm sending in Vivi's third is because I need him to be ready to kill himself in case Black Waltz targets him here, which he didn't. Okay. So the way that this works now that Zidane has been targeted is that Steiner's attack here, as long as he connects, is going to push Black Waltz 2 underneath 55%. Sorry, 50%. So I think Vivi should be able to deal lethal damage to Zidane here. Yeah. So Zidane's now dead. So Black Waltz 2's latest target. Black Waltz 2's ATB is maybe about 10% filled currently or so. His most recent target is Zidane, who is dead. When he's pushed over 50% like so, there is no firer. So firer now cannot occur. So I'm going to use this turn to pick up Zidane, so that we can have him ready for next turn. And then we can hopefully go on to finish the fight now. So we'll attack with Steiner. We'll attack with Vivi, Zidane. Alright, perfect. So everyone's going to live. That's ideal. So we'll do that again real quick. Because this boss fight is... There is a lot of stuff happening. But the most important thing to know is that when he drops below 50%, if his most recent target is dead, he will not cast Firer. The exception to this is that if he targets Steiner, you want to instead heal Steiner up and tank the Firer, because having Steiner go down and picking him back up and healing him and doing all that nonsense takes forever. Because Steiner deals so much more damage than anyone else. Steiner is your primary source of damage here. The most optimal scenario is that Vivi is targeted turn 2, and that you're able to kill him off instead, and it won't sacrifice any of your damage. We'll queue Zidane in here. Gonna wait him through. And we're going to attack with Vivi. Steiner and dagger. And then once Zidane comes back around, I'm going to attack again. The turn 2 is happening now. Zidane's going to get his ATB back perfectly. Okay, and he's killed Vivi for us. So this is the optimal scenario. He has killed Vivi for us with a cast, which means that Zidane's ATB is filled. We were able to attack last turn with everybody, and we're going to be able to ATB weight Zidane again this turn. So if we actually high roll, we could actually kill Black Waltz 2 this turn. So I'm going to queue him through, ATB, then queue everyone else. No, unfortunately we didn't roll high enough. But I believe he's got like no HP left. And we're going to attack again. Perfect. DJ, what? Okay, so we'll do that one more time. A miracle, but hopefully he targets Steiner for us. So what we'll do is, no matter what, we'll pretend that Steiner gets targeted here. So we'll swing with Zidane. I'm going to let my ATBs fill so I can make a decision. Okay, so this is where things start to get a bit messy. So, well, they don't actually. They don't really. But Zidane, so what we need to do here is we need to once again kill Zidane in order to skip this trigger. He's not targeting Steiner for us. But yeah, let's... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... Oh, shit. That's fine. I'm just going to heal her, and I'm going to let him have another turn, and I'm going to see if I can get him to target Steiner for us. He's not doing it. Okay, so let's pretend that Steiner was attacked here, okay? Rather than Zidane. So what you do is you want to make sure that everyone is above 110 HP. So I'm going to heal Zidane up, swing Steiner to push. I'm going to queue a cure to make sure that people don't go down afterwards. So I'm going to receive this fire damage. But because I've already cured that cure before he has his next turn, the cure should be going off. Good old trance. And now that everyone's back up, he'll be having his turn here after Zidane, I believe. He shouldn't be able to take anyone down. The only person here that really wants... Well, I mean... So in this encounter, you ideally want everyone to survive. And everyone being everyone but Vivi. Vivi pretty much never lives through... I'm fairly certain that Vivi never lives through this encounter. Just because of the way that it works. I'm going to get rid of that trance, so I'm going to take this one instead. So... Zidane's gaining ATB here for Protect Girls once again. Steiner is gaining ATB for Bird Killer, are the most important things. It's worth keeping an eye... Remembering whether or not they survive on those encounters. And for the AP. If they don't survive, then keep it in mind. And then when you get to this bit here, you need to wait for them to finish doing their little nodding animation before you say depart now. If you pick that option too quickly, your game will crash. Don't do that. So don't be afraid to take a moment to wait for that to finish. This is all just mashing through. Oh, we got the good... Okay, so... actually got good RNG, that's hilarious. This Black Mage sometimes, while VV is adjusting his hat, will come down to work on the machinery down here. Sometimes he'll walk even further away. But if he walks closer, you'll notice that VV's actually running down to talk to him here. Before he walks over to us. It's actually a little bit quicker. But again, it's something that you can't control. Okay, so the next fight coming up is completely on rails. It's all RNG whether or not you save time. If you manage to gain level 4 in some of your characters or steal the mithril dagger, you can like kind of push it in your favor. It's also worth noting that you hold down left here rather than just walking into Steiner. Otherwise, he will manually push Zidane out of the way. You'll save like fucking quarter of a second or something daft. Plus, it's more of a direct route. We're gonna go in here. I'm just gonna skip through all this shit. Mash, 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 mash. So Black Waltz 2, like I said, is completely on rails. As long as you do the inputs in the correct timing, you can't go wrong. The only thing that you're at mercy at to is the value of your rolls. If you roll some high numbers, you can kill him without using Vivi's final fire, which is the best case scenario. Ends the fight without you having to watch the detrance animation. It's like 6 or 7 seconds or something. So as soon as Zidane comes round, you want to attack immediately with Zidane. And then you want to wait for Zidane to go. Q Fire Sword. We missed. That shouldn't really matter. And then Q double Black Magic. So as long as you get everything queued in before he really takes off, you shouldn't really worry. Because... Oh, it's too late. Whoops. I was too slow. Alright, let's just get back there really quick. Whoops. Alright, he gets to his fight again. Why would you have 28 magic stones on Zidane before red dragons? What's not normal about that? Okay, so this is actually what I was hoping for before. So we'd have to queue him here, swing. Oh, fuck. Whatever. So you normally wouldn't do this, but I'm just trying to get it back to be consistent with when he wasn't dead. Oh, what abilities do you need before red dragons? You need distract, devil killer, level up. I don't know, man. I can't remember. Have you got my save states? You know that he needs distract, devil killer, antibody, level up. Just those, I believe. Those are the core ones. I think accuracy plus. Accuracy plus. That should already be on. Yeah. So depending on your level, sometimes you can have an extra magic stone left over. That's not abnormal. No, it needs 2. It's not abnormal to have an extra stone left over. If Zidane's level 20, you'll have 1 extra. Wait, he should have accuracy plus just like learnt though. Is accuracy plus not on? Is it not even there? That means you didn't do your arc menu correctly. You could be missing something else. Like ability up. I think. Pretty sure him and Amarant should have had Lapis on for Arc. Alright. So on this fight, I'll get it wrong this time. You swing with Zidane, Q Fire Sword, Q double fire Black Magic. Oh look, we're gonna trance, nice. So good. So you're looking at damage rolls here. 240 and 250 are the low side for Steiner. 260 and 270 are the high side. 168 and 175 are the low end for Vivi, and 182 and 189 are the high end. If you trance with Zidane, just use free energy and do it before. You just don't Q Zidane here. Don't steal. Don't do anything. Just leave him. You don't need to steal ever on this route. Don't worry about that shit. So we actually held on to the trance, which is interesting. Okay, so I can talk about that afterwards. Okay, it doesn't look like we're getting D-trance. You need like at least 270 and some stuff. Okay, cool. Super easy fight. Just make sure that you queue your stuff quickly enough. And when Zidane hits him and he takes off, he sort of like has an ATB reset, which allows you to get back in front of him.